Hi,
Hello, and welcome to our podcast.
welcome.
We have a special guest today, Alicia Cortez, who I call mom.
And my special guest, Kiara Cortez, who I call daughter.
That's right. That's right. Well, we please be patient because we don't really know what we're doing, but we're very excited to be here. And mom, do you have any talking points on like why we decided to record this today?
Yes, I think it's because we were talking about goals and
Yes.
goal setting
Yeah.
and the importance of goals. So we can start there.
And setting them.
Setting them. And why we want to set goals.
Yeah.
And the mindset we need in order to set goals and to achieve our goals.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess you should start, why goals? Why should we set goals? Why not just do the thing? Like just boom, you know, make it happen, or yeah, just do whatever you want to do. Why do you think it would be beneficial to have goals instead of just jumping into things?
That's a good question, Kiara.
Okay.
Well, immediately, I guess I'm going straight to mindset. Fact of the matter is, the way that the mind works is that either we are running off of a pre established program that's already in our mind, or we are doing the programming. And so, essentially, creating goals and then taking action to follow through with those goals is very much creating the mindset and creating the programming in order to create the life that you want to live.
Yeah. Yeah, but what if I feel like, okay, like I like the idea of setting goals, but I just like don't even know where to start. Like I don't even know like if I had goals, what they would be.
Get in the chair.
Get in the chair, the electric chair.
The hypnosis chair. Time
Hypnosis
to go
chair.
within.
Time to go within.
Time to go within, and time
Yeah.
to, because fact of the matter is that our higher selves always know. We always know.
Yeah.
Whatever we need to know whenever we need to know it.
Just self practice in general, right? Like whatever that means to whoever. Could be like meditation, it could be like through exercise, through something that something you find that really makes you connected to yourself, that helps you connect to yourself. Would you agree with that?
I think that connecting to yourself is important, and yes, that is the gateway.
Mm-hmm.
But then using that gateway space to actually pinpoint what it is you're wanting to achieve.
Uh-huh. Okay. Can you give me an example? Like I'll be guinea pig.
Okay.
I'll be guinea pig. So I'm gonna be like I want to do better in life. I want to be my best self. I want to girl boss it. But I'm scared. I don't even know what to do. Da, 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 da. I'm doing, I want to start a business. And that's all I know. You know what I mean? But I'm like, where do I even do what?
Yeah, okay. So I think the best place to start would be in going within.
Okay.
So that mindset, and yes, everybody gets there in a different way. Fact of the matter is, it really is just inner work, inner knowing, inner awareness. It is taking the time to quiet enough to be able to focus in on what it is we really want to achieve.
Yeah, because I think what stops me is all the thoughts that surround what I actually want to happen. All the scares, because there's like what I want to happen, but my mind can't help but go to like the fears of it, what people will think, what I'll think myself, like why I can or can't do something, all of those things that surround it.
It usually goes one of two places: either fear thoughts or trying to figure it out.
Ooh.
And usually the fear thoughts.
Ooh.
And usually the figuring it out comes from the fear thoughts.
Yeah.
Because it's a problem that you think you need to solve.
It's like I have to think I have to control it.
You think you have to control it.
Uh-huh.
You think you have to solve. When fact of the matter is, really, what would be much more effective and would save a whole lot of time and heartache would be to go into that mind space with the awareness of, I want to set these goals. What is the purpose or the intention that you're wanting to focus on?
Mm-hmm.
If it was starting a new business, right? What is important about starting a new business?
It's important because that's the step I feel like I need to take to have the future that I want for myself.
And why is the future that you want for yourself, why is that important?
The future that I want for myself.
Why is having a future important?
Oh, because it's I don't know, there's gonna be a future anyway. I want it to feel good, and I want to feel an achievement and complete and proud of myself.
Why is feeling proud of yourself important? Why is it important to feel proud of yourself?
Because I care about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I care about what happens.
You care about yourself.
About myself.
You care
about the things that I would want for myself. Like I care about those things.
So you're valuable.
Yes, I'm valuable.
So you are valuable.
Yeah.
So it's important to set goals because you're valuable.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's important to set goals for the business you want in order to create a future because you're valuable.
When you say valuable, that is something that makes sense in that first part of what we just talked about, but right away when you said it in regards to business and outward world aspect, I immediately felt like ooh.
So a fear
mm-hmm. Because I can't say that I feel valuable day to day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so that fear, so then it would be this, right? Then this is we could talk about the blocks to setting goals.
Yeah.
And it is, if those fear thoughts are there, it is being able to kind of peel back those layers to understand what ideas or beliefs maybe you had accepted or decided before about yourself.
So it'd probably be the idea that I'm not valuable for some reason.
Right.
I see.
In some aspect.
Some aspect. So it sounds like there's more inner work to be done for sure. Mm-hmm. But that was already just recognizing that, I can do for myself in my head. I can do that part myself. What might be a good action step that I can take with that information?
Oh, that's a great question. So I'm going to pose it back to you. What is an action step that you can take to remind yourself that you are valuable?
Yeah. Well, I guess that would lead me to think about, in trying to figure that out, I would need to think of moments where I have felt that I am valuable in whatever way, shape, or form. It may not be I'm the best person here. Right. No, just in a sense where I felt valuable.
Where you knew your worth.
And where I knew my worth.
Exactly.
And that I find in helping my family, helping others, I think is where I feel that the most. Mm-hmm. So I guess I could that sense of community is where I really feel of worth. So I could maybe seek a community in the business that I want to start that could help me. That could be a good.
Great. That's exactly what I was gonna say. So how is that connected to the business that you want to establish?
Yeah, that would be the connection, I would say.
Okay, great. So then you're saying that for you, creating connection with people within the business, within the environment that you're wanting to work in, would be important. Yes. And that would help remind you of your worth and that you are valuable. Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Sounds like a good first step.
Yeah, that sounds like a very good first step. And so what would that be? Any thoughts? Yeah, have you now that you've identified that even just connecting with a community within the work that you're wanting to do is a good next step,
Hmm.
what comes to mind as to who or where those people or that environment would be?
Yeah. Well, the first thing that pops into my mind is like my friend who already has a business. Um, and it could be good to just like have a conversation, just kind of like this, have a conversation about like starting a business and like what that looked like for her, and or like she has like events that she goes to all the time with other business people, like maybe just feeling like being in the environment that I want to be in, starting off that way might be like a good first step for me.
That sounds good. Okay, so in terms of goal setting,
Yeah,
that's a great first
that's a first goal.
goal.
Yeah, and I would say that that's all I can like do right now. Just that first goal is perfect, but now I feel like I can take those steps again,
Yes.
and that will help me with my second goal.
Yes.
Because I don't correct, it wouldn't be a different process, correct?
It wouldn't be a different process. No, because every time you're going within.
Exactly. So that, yeah. Ding. That was so perfect. Any of the I would invite you to like listen back, to just like rewind um this video, this podcast. And any of the times that I answered, you feel free to put
Yes.
whatever
Mhm.
version fits for you. You know what I mean? Like it, like the connection thing, like it's change whatever I said into something that feels good for you. um I'm just here as like to help with the example of what that looks like for everyday people. um so and then ask yourself these questions. This is very helpful, but you don't need somebody. It's not incredibly necessary to always depend on somebody to ask you these questions or lead you through it. You have every capability of doing it yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so use whatever resource you already know or have to go within. And for a lot of people, it's just taking a few good, long, deep breaths and creating the quiet time, the space in your
Mm-hmm.
life, the space in your mind to be able to really just check in. And this isn't about, a spiral of questions. It really is about trying to identify or just identifying what why what you are doing is important. Why is that important to you? When you get to a core value, right, like that, Kiara, for Kiara it was that she is valuable. When you get to a core value, then you know that that is the true reason, that is the real reason that you're wanting. You could even ask that, what is one reason that creating this goal is important to me?
Yeah.
What is another reason why starting a new business is important to me? What is the real reason that creating a business is important to me? And so, even in asking those three, one reason,
Yeah.
two reasons, the real reason.
Yeah. And yeah, that's perfect. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, even if you could do, those are two versions that we just showed you. You can combine them or do one at a time,
Yes.
or whatever. But in all of our learning, especially for those of us just starting out with goal setting, even just taking that step and checking in with yourself is an achievement in and of itself. So applause to those of you who are giving that a go. Me personally, once I have that, I I like to think that most people are either visual, kinesthetic, or
Auditory.
auditory learners. I'm definitely mostly kinesthetic and visual. All of them, of course. Everybody has a little bit of all of them, but that's why me visualizing and having like something to touch that I can feel and look at um, helps me really feel that these things are real and tangible in the physical world. It's like you can do whatever you want for you. At the beginning of the year, everybody was making these like 2025 journals. It doesn't have to be a super official thing. It can be just a whatever journal that you want, but it helps me keep track of it. This one's mine, and I did make it in the little 2025 journal trend um time of things. And so I'll try to show you my thank you. Yeah, I'll try to show you the page that I made. that has my goals. And I'll go up to this screen. Oops, let me take that out. And this, what I love about this is that you can like add or take away any goals that you want. And like once, for me, like getting to mark stuff off, I get super excited about that. So I'll come up to the screen a little bit. But this is what it looks like. It has my name, and then all around I wrote like different goals. You don't get to read them though. Little goals. And like a check mark box, and I can check it off. And then the pages following, like whenever I achieve one of those goals, they don't have to be huge either. They can be super small or super big. All of those are goals and they're worth being celebrated.
Yes, but it is important to have, if you have a large goal, because that's often a roadblock to
Oh,
goal achieving also.
yeah.
Is that when you have a big goal, sometimes the goal is so big you don't know where to start, and so it's overwhelming,
Yeah.
and you have to chunk it down. And depending upon where you're at and whatever your experience is, sometimes chunking those goals down super super small to little baby steps is the most helpful. Then you can clock and really feel. That's what the
Totally.
check marks. That's what the check marks
Yes.
are for. To
Yes.
say, to feel and have the experience of success, and have the experience of, and the gratification of knowing that you're moving forward.
Because something that, again, like this helps me with is that, a lot of times and I feel like a lot of people do this. When we achieve our goals, we're just like, yay, that was so great. What a high point. And then, life goes on and you go to other things. I think a lot of times we don't take the time and attention to appreciate ourselves or like the things we've done. And so having like a visual thing that I can look through and I can be like, oh my gosh, I did that. Like I did that. That's so crazy. Even when it's a day that I'm not feeling so like good about myself or any day. And I'll just like look through it and I'll be like, I did all of this stuff already. That is so worth celebrating. Helps me remind me of like my worth and like all the lovely things I love about myself. And so like one of them for this year was achieving, like I'm an opera singer, and so like I have to do a junior recital. And so like it was one of my goals, and so there's like a picture of me. I printed pictures and I like put cards in here that I got from other people. There's me on stage. And I like put the date and I put like goal achieved all in like gold letters. And yeah, just like special little tokens that I got from those moments. It was like my program and like pictures with my family and stuff like that. And it I that's been a habit for me. And it's also, doing stuff that's productive. Um but it doesn't like feel like, okay, it's productive time. You know what I mean? It can be fun and artistic, and it feels like I'm just like doing a little craft. But it's still to my betterment. So
It honors the process. You're honoring the
yeah.
process of moving through the experience. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's Olympic world record holders, people that have won, uh, gold medals, numerous gold
Yeah.
medals, that then struggle because then they're like, well, I've already done everything. What do I do now? When, if you experience this process of enjoying the process, the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, everybody experiences that. But there's no way that you can actually achieve a goal without having to be able to peel back those layers of fear, peel back those identifying self identifiers of what it is I choose to believe is true about myself now, or the world around me, or even setting goals in and of itself. Then being able to mark that box by celebrating the successes, huge is a huge part. So that's really cool that that's been and I know getting to watch you, it's been a very powerful part of your experience. And because you have created that, now you're programming your mind every
Hmm.
time you mark the box, every time you put in a beautiful picture,
Yep.
or right, like achieve those goals and celebrate that in your book. You are literally creating the mementos and the memories, the core memories in your mind that say,
Yeah.
I am a success.
Yeah. And that I did this, and so I can do it again.
I can do it again.
And
And
or
just,
like do the next
yep,
step or
right,
whatever.
whatever it is. Yep.
Whatever it is. That's the other thing is like this works for me. If you find something that helps you in your process better, it's just about feeling good. It's just about feeling good in the process, like my mom said. Because a lot of times, sure, like goals, the idea of goals, like we talked about, can be stressful, but falling in love with the process of achieving these goals and like knowing like why you're doing something makes it that much more fulfilling. And I find you achieve those goals faster. Like I made all of these goals for the entire year, and I'm like 75% complete, and we're only in April.
Yeah, we're 4 months in.
We're 4 months in, and yeah, and it's just crazy, and it's not because of like any like magic. It's not. No, but it's because I've done the work within myself, and so I'm now available and ready to like then take next steps. And I don't feel like I'm like in this like nebulous like I have this like idea of what I want for myself, but like I don't even know where,
And that's
you
true,
know.
but I do think it's important that everybody know and understand and hear that you're at this high point now. You feel good
Mhm.
about being able to say you've achieved these goals and to mark it off of your list
Yeah.
and to put these pictures in and feel that sense of fulfillment and that sense of accomplishment. But it was hard won. Like, it wasn't because there wasn't um things along the way that you needed to move through.
Mhm.
Goods, bads, ups, downs, lots of things that you
Yeah.
needed to move through in order to get there. And so,
Absolutely.
you're seeing and we're sharing this side of the success of things and how wonderful that feels and how much it has helped to be able to have that process in place. But along the way, we're still human. we're we're human, and we signed up for this human gig, and this human gig means that there is a process and that there
Mhm.
are ups and downs for everyone, no matter the situation.
The difference between where I was and where I am now, like I had lessons to learn. Um it's that falling in love with the process.
Mhm.
And even like these goals feel great, but everything in general, because I've like that checking in with myself and taking, that time to like really get to know me has always been there, but I've, been tapping into that much more often, and actually everything kind of feels much more neutral. You know, the goods are the highs are good, and the lows, they don't feel so good, but they used to be a much more extreme difference. Like I'd be at this peak point, and then like super in like the depths of not
Yeah.
feeling good. um
And that's the difference between this is happening to me
yes.
and this is happening for me
Yes.
versus this is happening for me.
Yeah.
So even those highs and those lows, I mean, fact of the matter is that when we're experiencing those lows, that is the point of transformation. That is the absolute point of transformation. That's the area that we now know we can we're meant to grow in.
Yeah.
So that pain or that suffering or that loss, whatever it is, that is where the growth is, and that is where the growth begins. It's not something that's happening to us. We're not the victim of that,
Right.
but
Yeah.
rather we are the great receiver of being able to now take this information and shift. We're able to transform ourselves into
Mhm.
something that we're really meant to be,
Yeah.
because that thing that we left behind doesn't fit anymore. That part didn't fit anymore.
Right. That's lovely.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to end this.
Awesome.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for joining us for our first ever podcast, and I hope you stick around to listen to the next one. I'm Kiara.
And I'm Alicia Cortez, medical support clinical hypnotherapist. I'm not a doctor. And so this is not medical advice, not a mental health counselor, but I'm a medical support clinical hypnotherapist. So I do know something about the mind.
And I'm Kiara.